Uh, I I think we can start. So, Vedant.
A very warm welcome to all the dignitaries and viewers to the closing ceremony of X-Uberance 20 Far But Together. We thank everyone for joining us today. It is quite often said that all good things come to an end. Exuberance 20 has also come to an end. We had set out with a goal to provide an opportunity for students to unite in solidarity despite the challenges we are all facing and to bring out the best in every student. In these 2 days, we have witnessed a whirlwind of activities, starting with fierce negotiations, panel discussions, debates, to strategic auctions, sale pitches, and so much more. We hope that this fest was able to transfer the tedious lockdown life into a lively experience for everyone to cherish. Without further ado, we would like to begin the proceedings by inviting Reverend Father Vice Principal, Father Narendra Singh SJ, to share a few words with us.
Father, I am sorry to interrupt. Father, you are no, you are muted. Father, you have to unmute.
Respected Chief Guest, Mr. Jawahar Sircar, IAS, Reverend Dr. Thomasin Aurlapan, Principal St. Xavier's Collegiate School, Kolkata, Reverend Father Jairaj Velusamy, Rector, St. Xavier's Community, Ms. Soma Gomes, Vice Principal, St. Xavier's Primary Section, Reverend Teacher Coordinators, Ms. Joyita Basu, and Mr. Somnath Dhar, all the principals, vice principals, teachers, and students of various schools that are participating in the Exuberance 2020, respected judges who judge the various events, all the teachers and students of St. Xavier's Collegiate School, Kolkata, the core committee of the Exuberance 2020, all the participants and the audience watching live on YouTube at this very moment. A very good evening to you all. Colin Powell, an American diplomat, says, "A dream does not become reality through magic. It takes sweat, determination, and hard work." This idea is reflected very tangibly in the initiatives taken by St. Xavier's Collegiate School, Kolkata. The management, teacher coordinators, and the core committee for the Exuberance 2020 set the goal, worked hard, and subsequently turned the invisible into the visible. Hosting a fest of such kind is easier when we organize it offline. But to have it online, it takes courage, dedication, and tremendous planning well ahead of time. Initially, many were apprehensive a bit about how the program would go on virtual platform, as it involves a lot more planning and organizing. But the way the teacher coordinators and the core committee went ahead with the recent Teachers' Day program on virtual platform gave everyone the confidence and assurance that nothing is impossible for a willing and daring heart. As Dan Brown, the American author, aptly says, everything is possible. The impossible just takes longer. The core committee said that the toughest challenges always provide an opportunity to rise to the occasion. The heart-throbbing inter-school fest virtually brought together students from 17 most prestigious schools of Calcutta. In the present scenario, where everyone is going through fear and anxiety due to the deadly COVID-19 pandemic, it's a challenge to convince the managements and students of different schools for their participation in the program, even though it is on a virtual platform. The participants themselves had to go through various inconveniences while practicing various events because they stay far from each other. Coordinating and harmonious blending become a difficult task when they practice from different places without coming together to a particular location. However, the participants made it possible. The events, which include Eastern and Western music, short films, fashion show, stand-up comedy, dance, quiz, debate, were not only entertaining but learning experience as well. Feast for our eyes and for our brains as well. Yes, the Exuberance 2020 was an amazing blend of cultural, sporting, technological, and innovative events. Each and every event was of a high standard. One could clearly see a reservoir of talents and potentials in each of the participants. Congratulations to all those who won in various events, and congratulations to all those who worked hard and participated in various events as well. Winning and losing are secondary. What matters is participation and genuine efforts. As Michael Jordan, the popular basketball player, rightly says, I can accept failure. Everyone fails at some time, but I cannot accept not trying. Yes, dear participants, I'm sure all of you have given your 100% and worked hard to the best of your ability. As we are about to conclude the Exuberance 2020, I am reminded of the beautiful words of Geoffrey Chaucer, the father of English literature, who says, all good things must come to an end. There is an end to everything, to good things as well. The Exuberance 2020 is coming to an end. But the things that we have learned and the experiences that we have gained will certainly make an indelible mark in our hearts and minds. Before I stop, I must thank Reverend Father Dr. Thomasin Aurlapan, Principal St. Xavier's Collegiate School, Kolkata, for his constant support and guidance before and during the program. He took generous initiatives and had several rounds of planning sessions. I thank the teacher coordinators, Ms. Joita Basu and Mr. Somnath Dhar, who have been extremely supportive and helpful to our boys in organizing this event so beautifully. Congratulations to the core committee of the Exuberance 2020, efficiently led by the President, Naman Podar, who have shown their excellence as Zavarians when it comes to organizing the events, collecting sponsorships, and forming and executing the fest as a whole. I place on record a special thanks to all the judges, sponsors, and the ZTV Bangla, our media partner, for making the entire event a great success. I'm grateful to all those who have contributed to the success of the program and all those who have worked behind the scenes. Thank you, one and all. May God bless you all.
Thank you, Reverend Father Vice Principal, for sharing your thoughts with us. Now, I would like to introduce our respected chief guest, Mr. Jawahar Sircar. Sir is a public intellectual and a retired civil servant with 42 years of experience. Sir is currently the chairman of the Board of Governors of the Center for Studies in Social Sciences, Kolkata. He has been on the governing bodies and trust of many national level cultural institutions of India, including the National Library and the National Archives. He is also associated with several universities and academic bodies. Before this, he was the secretary of the Ministry of Culture for Government of India from 2008 to 2012, where he reported directly to the Prime Minister for most of his tenure. He resigned to take over his current position, for which he was chosen by an eminent panel led by the Vice President of India and the Supreme Court judge. As cultural secretary, he initiated long pending reforms and took up the modernization of museums, archives, and libraries, for which he was awarded the British Museum Medal. Sir, we would be humbled if you share with us some words of encouragement.
Good evening, friends. My regards to the principal, Father Principal, Father Vice Principal, Father Rector, all teachers, participants, participating schools, all students who have steered this onerous task. My special thanks go to Somnath and Joita for getting this to happen, and of course their core team. Now, I left this school, St. Xavier's, I was counting today, 51 years ago. Most of the parents of the students wouldn't be that old, but never mind. Now, what this 51 years actually means is that I got 51 years more than most of you to make more mistakes. So what I will speak today is based on the series of mistakes that people call life. Everyone is entitled to make his own mistake, and most of us make good opportunity and recoup from it. First of all, congratulations once again for organizing this online. I wish we could take this example to people who are running the state now. I did for quite some time because I dread the forthcoming crowds for which all preparations are being made. Now, organizing an event like this is itself a lesson for those who participate, those who are used to coming before a mic and getting away with speaking will now have to make additional arrangements. They have to utilize technology. Maybe I'm sure they're all smarter than me where technology goes, but precision. You have to also go in for precision. There are a lot of other things that constitute a learning experience. And I thank X-Uberance 20 for instilling this in all of us. You know, you guys are lucky. 50, 60 years ago, we didn't have the logistics to organize such big festivals. It's just not done in those days. We did have a few inter-school debates and other things. We had some common functions with Loreto School, which my generation liked more than usual. And I remember having argued with this lady, Tiratama Tharoor. But anyway, so those memories are still there, but we never had it on such a scale with such huge participation. 700 participants, my God. Now, having said that, I would come straight to something that bothers most people. I'm not referring to those who have already made up their minds how they'll complete the next 4 or 5 years of engineering, how they'll do this and how they will shoot past and which house they'll stay in San Jose and work and drive. I mean, there are geniuses who plan out everything. God was partial to me in the sense that he never endowed me with any of these periscopic qualities. Just an ordinary guy. In fact, come to think of it, you know, actually, and this should not be because you guys have already passed, or so this shouldn't be some sort of a provocation. I managed to stand last or second last in St. Xavier's in 7, 8, and 9. And something happened after that. A Jesuit father turned me around, and I've written about him again and again. I'm ever so grateful to you. But the moral of the story is that if you are a happy-go-lucky guy who doesn't mind failing, maybe 51, 53 years later, they'll call you to make an closing address, to do the honors. Now, this stage of life, incidentally, without alarming anyone, is actually very critical. You are at the airport, you are at the railway station, and most of you are still deciding on platforms and flights. That's exactly what it's supposed to be. As I said, very smart people who decided years in advance, or their parents decided for them. I usually, believe me, I'm 68 soon, I usually not found later on in life. I'm not decrying their excellence. They have more than their due quota with them. But it's a struggling young man and woman who has some vague idea, some rough idea, some passion at the moment, and would like to try life as it comes along. So for them, my request is that please follow what your heart tells you. What your heart tells you. You know, in our generation, our parents could hardly afford to let us free in that sense of the term. We all belong to the struggling middle class. But where I'm concerned, I have let my son free. I mean, he is perfectly free to decide what he'll do. Now, the fathers here are, I can see, the senior most people, but to me, they are very young men. But they will agree, perhaps, that our generation, maybe theirs, was the only generation where parents were students, where the parents were extremely scared of their own parents and very obedient. And they were also scared of their kids. So we belong to taking it on both sides. But my suggestion is that since your parents, most of your parents can give you the freedom to do what you feel like, pursue it. You know, I had some compulsions, and therefore I sat for the civil services examination, and somebody must have made a mistake. I got in. I didn't correct them. I got in. Having got in, I found while the civil services and the national government and the state government are all fine, there's something missing in my heart. And then I started studying. Believe me, well after I have gone out, it is what I studied, what I spoke, what I wrote, and what I fought for that holds me where I am. I mean, the fact that you can attain the topmost, you can attain outstanding excellence in your career is a very good thing. But if your career is something that you had not planned or were compelled to take, then still there is a way out. One can pursue one's career, or one can go on earning for oneself, fulfilling life's obligations, but at the same time, nurse a passion. 700 of you have proved that you have a passion in some form or the other, and many others who may not have attended this competition, this fest, also have talents. Many others also have talents. Now, these talents, these proclivities, these urges are the ones that will drive you. That will drive you. As Culture Secretary of India, I remember many persons coming to me, very senior persons. I mean, they were running, the men who ruled India, ran India at that point of time, coming and telling me, you know, when you awarded such and such a prize to my daughter-in-law, my heart leapt, because 60 years ago or 50 years ago when I was in school or was in early college, I got a prize exactly for that, but I could never pursue it, whatever be the scale. So one of the ways to navigate through life is to nurse your passion. If you can marry your passion, in the sense that if you can combine it with your occupation, you're lucky. Then you won't actually be working. You'll be enjoying life. But very few people can actually do it. So carrying it out, bringing with you within, nursing within you this passion, the passion for anything. Somebody likes to collect matchboxes. Or talking of passions, it's exactly at this stage, that so-called 51 years ago in St. Xavier's, at the last stage, some of the guys in my class decided to have a joint theater play with Loreto. So very pleasant thing, but then they organized it. That group named its event as Red Curtain. For those who are aware of English theater in Kolkata, they would know that Red Curtain is a big name. It all arose from a passion, and one man who sort of stirred it all was my classmate, who frankly I thought was nutty, and I still hold his nutty. He was a top advertiser, but his heart lay in theater, and he has proved his point that after working for 33 years, he's stuck on to theater. Now that's the way passions, I mean, you don't need to go overboard with your passion, but remember, life is a big bluffer. Don't take it so seriously. Don't take life so seriously. It throws up crises, challenges, it throws up catastrophes to frighten you. And it throws up to everyone, even the most secure, the richest, and the best qualified. Take it in your stride. Chalta hai, hoga. But as Mr. Vienna in St. Xavier's told me, this is not the end of life. There's a tomorrow. This is not the end of life. Don't look so cry. So there, I would put it this way, that life will throw up challenges and you will all excel. You will all get out of it, irrespective of which place you come from, because you have something in you. But to sustain and navigate through life, hold on to something beyond just bread and butter. That is my request to all of you. You have to come to your own choices, and even if you stumble on your vocation, on your official life, on your career, never mind. Most people have changed their careers halfway through and sing, and none of them, Ravi Shankar, for instance, wanted to sing. And he was greatly interested in art, but he turned out to be something else. So everyone has to go through it. Those are the early knocks that life is telling you, come out, and face me. You are right at that beautiful stage in life that will never come to you twice, when there's a bit of tension within you, a little bit of worry and a bit of enthusiasm to get out of school and join the world. Please join, and please have your sights straight. Never mind, problems will be there, but I'm sure you'll navigate and win over them. God bless you.
The entire team would like to thank Sir for gratifying us with his presence. Now, moving on to the most awaited aspect of any fest, the prize distribution ceremony. I would like to call upon Ronak Banerjee to take over the proceedings.
Thank you, Abhay. I think we can start with the prize distribution. Before I start, I would just like to point out that each prize winner would be receiving e-certificates along with physical certificates and gift hampers from ITC. These will be delivered to the respective schools. Now, to start off with, we have live events. In these events, the participants performed live in front of the judges on a virtual platform. It turned out to be a brilliant display of wit, coordination, and healthy competition. To start off with, we have got Exquisite. At third place, we have St. Xavier's Collegiate School along with the Heritage School. At second place, we have got Birla High School. And at first place, we have South City International School. Moving on to X-Mate. At third place, we have Garden High School. At second place, we have St. Xavier's Collegiate School. And at first place, we have Delhi Public School, Ruby Park. Moving on to X-Trial. At third place, we have MP Birla Foundation Higher Secondary School. At second place, we have the BSS School. And at first place, we have Delhi Public School, Ruby Park. Now coming to X-Ghana. At third place, we have the BSS School. At second place, we have St. James's School. And at first place, we have St. Xavier's Collegiate School. Moving on to X-Bid. At third place, we have St. Xavier's Collegiate School along with MP Birla Foundation Higher Secondary School. At second place, we have Lakshmipat Singhani Academy. And at first place, we have Our Lady Queen of the Mission School. Moving on to Excalibur. At third place, we have St. Xavier's Collegiate School along with Loreto House. At second place, we have Birla High School. And at first place, we have La Martiniere for boys. Now moving on to X-Innovate. At third place, we have the St. James's School. At second place, we have La Martiniere for boys. And at first place, we have South City International School. Now going to X-Bitorko. At third place, we have St. James's School. At second place, we have Modern High School for girls. And at first place, we have Garden High School. Now we would move on to the broadcasted events. Now in this events, the participants made recordings of their performances, which were judged by experts and viewed by the general audience on YouTube. These events turned out to be a showcase of talent, culture, and artistic genius. To start off with, we have X-Raga, where in second place, we have Sri Sri Academy along with Delhi Public School, Ruby Park. And at first place, we have Modern High School for girls. Moving on to X-Reel. At third place, we have St. Xavier's Collegiate School. At second place, we have Loreto Day School, Elliott Road. And at first place, we have MP Birla Foundation Secondary School. Now moving on to X-Vogue. At third place, we have Modern High School for girls. At second place, we have Birla High School. And at first place, we have St. Xavier's Collegiate School. Now going to X-Gag. At third place, we have the BSS School. At second place, we have Birla High School. And at first place, we have South City International School. Now moving on to X-Acoustic. At third place, we have MP Birla Foundation Higher Secondary School along with Birla High School. At second place, we have Sri Sri Academy. And at first place, we have La Martiniere for boys. Now to Extravagance. At third place, we have St. James's School. At second place, we have Birla High School. And at first place, we have St. Xavier's Collegiate School. Now we would move on to entry-based events. Now these events were a mixture of social and artistic events. In X-Meme and X60, it brought about a show of school spirit, while X-Click and X-Flash were an exhibition of creativity. Now we would move on to the first event of this type, which was X-Meme. At third place, we have Modern High School for girls. At second place, we have the BSS School. And at first place, we have Loreto Day School, Elliott Road. Moving on to X-Click. At third place, we have South City International School. At second place, we have St. Xavier's Collegiate School. And at first place, we have Modern High School for girls. Now going to X-Splash. At second place, we have the Newtown School along with La Martiniere for boys. And at first place, we have St. James's School. Now to X-Bet. At third place, we have Sri Sri Academy. At second place, we have Delhi Public School, Ruby Park. And at first place, we have Loreto House. Now moving on to X-Flip. Oh, I'm so sorry, but now we would just like to start with X-Flip. At third place, we have Loreto Day School, Elliott Road. At second place, we have got St. Xavier's Collegiate School. And at first place, we have the St. James's School. Now moving to X60, we have two sides, the Critics' Choice Awards and the People's Choice Awards. Starting with the Critics' Choice Awards, at third place, we have Loreto House. At second place, we have St. Xavier's Collegiate School. And at first place, we have Loreto Day School, Elliott Road. Now moving on to the People's Choice Award, at third place, we have St. Xavier's Collegiate School. At second place, we have Modern High School for girls. And at first place, we have Birla High School. Now we would move on to the grouped events. Now, the grouped events took place as a mega event comprising of smaller events over both the days of the fest. These events exemplified cooperation, team spirit, and determination. To start off with, we have Ex Negocium. At third place, we have Aryaman Jain of Lakshmipat Singhani Academy and Yuvraj Shah of Delhi Public Star Ruby Park. At second place, we have Nishita Lulla of Borden High School for Girls. And the Best Negotiator Award goes to Zain Ahmed of La Martiniere for Boys. Now we would move on to Experiment. At third place, we have Birla High School. At second place, we have MP Birla Foundation High Secondary School. And at first place, marked by the best scientist, we have St. Xavier's Collegiate School. With this, we come to the end of the prize distribution for each individual event. Thank you.
Thank you, Ronak. I would like to call upon our teacher in charge, Mrs. Joita Basu, to share her overall experience with us.
Thank you, Abhay. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Yeah, I'll just say a few words how this all happened. Like in March, when we closed down for this lockdown, the school was closed down. I get calls from several corners, Naman Podda, Siddhant Gupta, so many people calling me up. Ma'am, what is going to happen? When is the fest going to happen? How is it going to happen? All those calls. I remember those days for the 6, 7 months. I have to keep on telling them that first let us concentrate on academics. Let us see how the online classes will function, how the assessment will be done. And then maybe, of course, your co-curricular activities are important. We'll come back to them. And that's how it all started. We had plans. We had several sessions. And we are so happy that we could have this in such a wonderful way. Smoothly, everything went on. We had issues. We were thinking that connectivity might be a problem. Technically, how the boys will be able to manage. But Teachers' Day proved that Xaverians are Xaverians. You proved, boys, that you could take on matters, and obstacles are really nothing if you have your heart and determination into put into that. And then suddenly Sunday evening, I get call. Father is calling me. Father principal is calling me. Ma'am, what help do you need? Ma'am, shall I talk to Z Bangla? Shall I talk to ITC? And immediately things work out. So I am really appreciative of all the efforts that have come from all the corners, all the sponsors, all the boys, fathers, teachers. Mr. Dhor has been so supportive. We have worked together as a team, and we are very thankful that we pray to God that God continues to bless St. Xavier's and all the participants and all the schools, and we can continue with this fest every year in a maybe on stage again next year, hopefully, with this corona pandemic going away. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, I would also like to invite Mr. Somnath Dhor, our teacher in charge, to express his thoughts with us.
Good evening, Father Principal, Father Vice Principal, Mr. Sircar, and all my friends from different schools and my own school, St. Xavier's. First of all, I'd like to thank Father Principal for being the constant support in whatever way, like anything. We just looked up to him, called him, WhatsApped him, whatever. But he is always there at our back, supporting each and everything. We just have to talk to him. Father, this is what we want. Yes, sir, go ahead with that. Yes, ma'am, go ahead with this kind of support is something which really motivates the teachers, which motivates any worker of any organization to give the best for that particular organization. I would like to specially mention the boys, the core committee, especially all of them, not only the core committee, the technical committee, or whatever they say, the tech team, or whatever modern names they have in their generation. I'm too old for these sort of things. The technical team, the amount of the quality of editing and the video editing and whatever has been done right from starting of the fest, of designing the online posters and everything. They have been working behind the curtains. Nobody knew them. Nobody knows their face. They haven't come in the screen to speak in any time, but their work can be seen. The quality of the editing and the quality of the work that they are putting, it is brilliant. And I'm telling you, and for all the schools who are participating here, These boys, they've really moved mountains. They have moved mountains so that they create a plain ground on which X-Uberance can stand comfortably. I really thank all the boys, fathers, and especially Mrs. Basu. I think last 2-3 years we have been working as a team, and we just have to basically, the understanding now is just one has to nod the head and the other understands that, okay, this is the meaning of the nod. Thanks to each one of you, and we look forward to the next edition of X-Uberance, by God's grace, in campus. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. On behalf of the core committee, I would like to thank both our teachers in charge for always being there to guide us. Without their constant support, Exuberance 20 would not have been possible. Now, I would request Reverend Father Principal Dr. Thamasin Arulappan SJ to share with us a few words of wisdom.
Very good evening to all of you. St. Xavier School is extremely proud to have Mr. Sircar as a chief guest for this evening program. Thank you, sir, for your wonderful, motivating, thought-provoking speech to all our students in Calcutta. Ever since the thought of Exuberance began before the pandemic, we're very excited. I was very excited. Why? Because last year, the Exuberance was new to me, first Exuberance for me. I learned a lot from that. So I was looking forward to a second Exuberance offline, where we could get more students from Calcutta interacting with us and also celebrating the entire events. But the pandemic began and we all worried, and particularly I was worried whether I could give a chance to our own students, class 12, who generally take up this entire event and make it a big. But thankfully, and Almighty have been very, very kind to us and blessing all our students. And also they could take up any hurdles and go beyond all that. So I begin with thanking the Almighty for His blessings upon all of us, all our students. I remember students during this particular pandemic time, many of us, principals, we are struggling to keep the spirit of our own students. The mental health was one of the things that we talked about. And all the principals were struggling because we have seen our students right in front of the computer or laptop where many health issues have been coming in. And we thought that probably this Exuberance is one such kind where our children will just relax. And that happened, thankfully, before the puja. Because all the puja times are very important times for us, where we like to relax. And this set us a tone for all of you to relax yourself and also to celebrate lives. There's one thing that I like to appreciate in all our students would be the excellence. Dear students participating in various schools, I like to just tell you one thing. In Jesuit education, the word excellence is very important. Excellence, we don't count only in the academic side. We also look at excellence in the very personal lives. And this excellence is not one-time excellence. This excellence leads to margis, a new word the Jesuit schools will use it. Margis means more and more excellence needed, more and more. So we don't stop with one-time excellence, but we go beyond all the excellence. That's what happened. That's what we have seen last 2 days. All the participating schools excelled. I have seen quite many programs myself, and the fathers at St. Xavier, they also watched some of the programs. And you excelled in all ways possible. So I'd like to congratulate all the schools, particularly participating schools, for this great endeavor. Now I'd like to thank also all the principals, because 17 schools not a joke, and many schools were having examination also. At the same time, your principals gave a chance to you to participate in this great Exuberance event. So thank you, principals, and all the vice principals for supporting our students to be part of this St. Xavier's program. Surely I'd like to thank also all the sponsors. Many of them did very generously. Remember, students, this is a pandemic time where most of our schools are trying to give more concession to our students so that they could participate. But we do have many generous hearts who came forward, giving us a lot more sponsors. I'd like to mention a couple of them, particularly the ITC, who are associated with the St. Xavier's for many years. I just only one word to this manager, immediately said, yes, we are there with the St. Xavier's. Any program for St. Xavier's, we are there. So I'd like to thank the manager of ITC for sponsoring all the prize tokens to the participating schools and all the winners. I'm surely Z Bangla has been very special this time, because to take this great event to a bigger, larger scale makes very important also. A small interaction with the Z Bangla. I'm so much appreciative of the program that St. Xavier's conducts. They also voluntarily and readily came forward to take it up. So these are the bigger sponsors that we have. Of course, there are many others who came to give us in kind. So I'd like to thank all the partners of this event and sponsors who came forward in supporting this event. And surely I'd like to thank also our own teachers and various times our own parents. My own communication with the teachers and parents, right from the beginning, I said the school closes only on the 19th, not the 18th or 17th. With these 2 days are a part of the school working days, so that the parents also could participate in the event and make the event very great success. Surely our teachers all were there with us. And particularly, I'd like to thank the teacher in charges, Mr. Somnath, Mrs. Joita Basu, for great support to all our students. I've seen them. I've seen their own passion towards this exuberance. I've seen their own commitment towards the exuberance. And I've seen their own suggestions and improvement towards the exuberance. Thank you, teachers. I'm very, very proud of you for this way you have guided our students. Surely, I'd like to thank all the participating schools. Children, you are fantastic, very fabulous with all your functions. The way you conducted yourself, the way you put forward all the events, fantastic. I'm very proud of all of you that this platform, though it's online, but still we have come to such a way that we could be coordinating with each other and support this. And coming to our own students, St. Xavier's Collegiate School, teachers do call you boys, but I do always prefer to call you students. But today, give me a chance to call you boys. Boys, fantastic, fabulous. You stood what you are. The Xaverian spirit is strong in you, excel in every aspect of it. I'm very, very proud of you. Participating in this event in the online platform surely is not that easy, but surely you have put a lot more effort to make this event a great and grand success. Thank you, boys. As you have made all of us proud, surely St. Xavier's one day will always remember you this particular year. Why? Because it's an online program. We never had such program in the past, but it's the first time. All the participating schools also will remember always that yes, we participated in the exuberance. It's a very, very grand success. Thank you, boys. And as I told you, we always continue to stay with you, to pray for you for your own great personal growth and also to walk with you. Thank you, students, for this great grand event, and particularly to thank once again our own chief guest for giving us this motivational talk and all our support staffs who have been with us to carry this forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Father, for those kind words. Last but not the least, I would like to invite the core of the core committee, our very own president, Naman Poddar.
A very good evening, Reverend Father Principal, Reverend Father Vice Principal, our chief guests, Mr. Sircar, teachers, representatives, and the audience watching live via YouTube. I would like to start by expressing my heartfelt gratitude to Reverend Father Principal, Reverend Father Dr. Thomas Nararappan SJ, Reverend Father Vice Principal Narendra Singh SJ, for giving us this opportunity. Head teachers, Mrs. Joita Basu and Mr. Dhor, for being the pillars of support over this period. The student community consisting of the core committee having 12 other members, the tech team having 5 members, and the event management team having over 20 members. Today, as I speak, I entail this mixed bag of feelings of both honor and sadness. Honor because I have got this opportunity to give back to the school for the past 12 years in the form of a fest, and sad because it finally has to come to an end. When, as a kid, I saw one of my seniors in the position where I am today and how they struggle for words to express what they feel, I honestly fall into the same headspace too. It still feels so surreal to me, the fact that tomorrow when I wake up, I wouldn't have to schedule a Zoom meeting and tell everyone to turn their cameras on. The fact that tomorrow when we wake up, we wouldn't have to create some new post and face another self-created technical glitch. If I kept on going, I'll probably never end, and I won't take a lot of time. But as ma'am mentioned, although the concept was built on April, it took months to finally get materialized. And for me, and I believe for my team as well, we're really humbled by the appreciation we have received from all sides. But I think what we are most proud of as a core committee, as Exuberance as a whole, and to be even more precise as a badge, is that we have come a long way from a lot of no's and question marks to a lot of yes and a lot of full stops. And with a very heavy heart, though filled with honor and sadness, Exuberance has to come to an end. So, to put an ending line to all those full stops and question marks, I would first request Father Principal to give away the prize for the best school, and lastly, declare the fest closed. So, signing off until next time, Nihil Ultra, nothing wrong. Thank you.
Thank you, Naman. Once again, it's a special privilege for me to announce the winners. As Sir said, all of us are winners. There are no losers. All we look forward to opportunities. And surely many of us, all of us have used the opportunities well. At the same time, we have to acknowledge the genuineness and the way some groups, some students have participated, where they need to be acknowledged with the prizes. The runner-ups of the X-Uberance 2020 goes to Modern High School. Children, give a big clap to all. Modern High School, the runner-up. And the winners are, can you guess? The countdown starts. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The winner is Birla High School. Give a big round of applause to the winning school. Surely, big round of applause to all our participating schools. Thank you. So with this, I officially declare the X-Uberance 2020 comes to an end. Thank you all.
Thanks a lot, Father. Before all the reps leave the meeting, just to preface that all the physical certificates and the gift hampers, which are being sponsored by ITC, are going to be sent to the respective schools as soon as possible. And the e-certificates, which are going to be provided, will be sent via your numbers on the WhatsApp group or any other form. So thanks a lot. Thank you for being a part of this event, as well as the teachers, as well as the dignitaries to be present as well. So thanks a lot. We can end this meeting and leave the meeting as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nishant, we can stop going live on YouTube now.